Hello everyone and welcome to the MEC Pod. We're ready to get into everything. We got our dance moves ready to go as we're ready to cruise on over to our finals as we're getting ready for the land, getting ready for all the fun stuff there. My name's Travysty. I'm joined here with Mac. I'm joined here with Shibby. As always, gents, how are you doing?
You want to go first, Mac? How was Easter?
I'm doing good. Easter was good. Warm weather in North Carolina, unexpectedly. I think I drove home on like Wednesday night and it was freezing. I packed sweatpants and then the next day it was like 70 degrees and sunny. I was like, well, what the hell am I doing? So, but overall, very nice. Just kept it low key, with the folks, with my parents. Did some golfing. Tried to not hit it in the water. So that kind of succeeded. But overall, good vibes.
Shibby, how about you? What was your Easter like?
I was in Los Angeles, but I actually could not secure tickets to the finals for LCS.
Oh,
it's a good one.
It's fine. Honestly, I could have gone as media. Like, I could have just gotten a media pass and like watched it, but like I was like, because they give you two, right? Like you can have up to like however like you need. So I was like, oh, I could have my girlfriend as my like camera woman, all that stuff. But I was like, you know what? I don't want my first LCS finals to be at like the Riot Games studio. I know it looked fun, it looked cool, like they had a big fan fest, but like I don't know. I feel like all their other events that they've thrown, like the summer one's gonna be insane, right? Because it's the only one now. So instead, I ended up going to LA, but we just ended up, doing stuff on Saturday.
Did they announce where the summer one is, or we're not?
No,
we probably won't get that till the beginning. Of
Raleigh, North Carolina,
Dude,
coming
run it
back.
Run back.
Road to Raleigh.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I can say anything. I'm just gonna say this. I've heard. Ooh.
Allegedly,
it's in the. This is so funny. I'm not gonna leak where it is, but it's funny. I heard it's in the north. That's all I know. Like in the north, in a city and in a place where a lot of people have requested in North America. I'm gonna say North America.
Okay.
Interesting.
Toronto. Got it. Let's.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I've heard. I don't know where it's gonna be, but that's what I've whispered. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Ooh, do we got some Tim Hortons sponsorship?
Oh,
that would be funny.
That would be actually.
I need Timbits.
Dude,
it's been a while since I've had
some Timmy's. It's been.
I'll go on the record. Anyone who thinks Dunkin' is better than Tim Hortons is capping. My official
Dunkin's just sugar. It's just sugar.
Exactly.
Dunkin' Donuts is just sugar.
I got a confession to make. I gotta tell y'all a story because we're talking about Timmy's as we're kind of having our laugh about segment in the MEC pod. So I went to early on in my casting career. I went over to Calgary to cast in an event, right? So I flew out to Calgary, Canada. It was a very cool event and all this other stuff. The place that we were at had a Tim Hortons inside of it for where we were casting.
Okay.
So I got it very much so in depth with Timmy's.
Yes.
For
an intimate relationship.
A very intimate relationship. Because we had an EU broadcast and a North American broadcast. And I would always wake up. I woke up first inside of our house of 12 casters. And
there was a caster house.
Yeah, we had an Airbnb with like 12 casters in it. It was
for different games. For all the different games.
It was all League.
What the hell?
And
12 casters for League of Legends?
So we had EU North America. So there was two different groups combined from that. And then we had it was community leagues. So it was like bronze and silver, gold and plat, and then diamond and above were like the leagues.
Wow.
So we had one for each one. So we had basically 3 days of broadcast. And in the morning, we would shoot the EU broadcast because it was like already time in the morning.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, we would do the North American broadcast. I am not a morning person. and they had a drink there. I'm very picky about my coffee in general, and
Okay.
I accidentally
Fair.
ordered something thinking I was getting a coffee, called a chocolate dream.
Sounds like me.
Dude, this thing was like a chocolate milkshake that
Uh-huh.
was like highly caffeinated by something. I did not taste coffee, but it tasted like
Espresso, like just espresso shots.
but it was like it was this tall. Like it was a big boy.
Oh my.
It was covered in whipped cream at the top, and then they took like a bottle of chocolate sauce and dunked it on top. Shimmy's looking it up right now to see it.
And I'm trying to find it.
It was called
Tim
the
Hortons
Chocolate
chocolate dream.
Dream.
Yeah.
And it
I see
was-
something like it.
It
Oh
was.
my god.
Yeah, I had that like
That's a
3
lot
times.
of chocolate.
I had that like 3 times a day.
Holy.
I
Oh,
had
because
it.
you had to like get energy, right? But it's
I
like
had-
it's not a big one. Is it a small, like
It
this
was
big, or how?
It was big. It was a tall boy.
Oh my god, it was a tall boy.
Everybody was looking at me like I was wild because I would show up at like 8 a.m. with this thing, and then it would be like, it
Ready
would be
to-
like noon, and I would get another one, and then it would be like 5 o'clock, an hour before I go live, and I had another one in hand, and they were just like, dude, what the fuck, dude? I'm just like, dude, I need it. I need it.
Dude,
That is
those
so
new
funny.
drinks, those drinks, like the Dunkin' released like an ice spice thing. I remember,
Mhm.
dude. One of those is like
Did they really?
900 calories, like 100 grams of. Bro, like that's dude. Like drinks are getting out of hand and absurd. Like I respect the creativity, but if your creativity is just dumping more sugar into shit, I don't know. At that point, yeah,
like
it's
that-
good, but I'm.
I like to think this is still topical too, because we're like talking about esports, so it's just like, how many esports people get these sugary as hell drinks?
Bro, I am the biggest like the dude. G Fuel is such like a horrible. Why are gamers who are sitting in chairs drinking G Fuel, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Dude, this
The bane,
this is
the
my
bane of
gamer
my
drink.
existence. That's so fun. I thought it was Nesquik. It's the
Yeah, no,
opposite.
it's Yoo-Hoo. Yoo-Hoo's better because it's not. Yoo-Hoo's not chocolate milk. It's actually what is it called? A chocolate drink, right? That's how they.
It's called a
label it.
chocolate drink. It's not chocolate melt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it tastes
girlfriend
just like
keeps,
chocolate
Diet
milk.
Pepsis around.
I Diet Pepsi's another one of mine, but Yoo-Hoo's. I recently got reintroduced to them when I was shopping, and I was just like, I set up my like mini fridge and all that other stuff. So I was just like, dude, I gotta fill them up with something. And I was like, the nostalgia
Yeah.
of putting those inside, because I used to pull like all nighters when I played competitive COD, of just like downing like an entire 12-pack of Yoo-Hoo's while it's just like glued
Bottled ones
into
taste
some
better.
COD.
Right?
What's that?
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know. Do they still sell the bottled ones? Those used to taste so good. The ice
They
cold
do.
bottled.
They do. I saw them the other day.
Oh.
I was just like,
I used to
dude,
drink those.
ugh.
I was a big. My bane is either sweet tea, which
Oh my god.
is so good, but I am worried about the sugar content in it.
Diabetes.
Half and half is not as good, and unsweet is trash. Why
you
are
need the
people
syrup.
drinking unsweet tea?
You need the
I
syrup.
need
Okay.
I need
Look,
the
I
good
drink-
sugar.
I drink decaffeinated, like unsweetened tea sometimes. I actually like the tea flavor. Or I'll drink regular tea.
You
as
you
well.
are a big
I mean,
tea guy. I'll
Yeah.
give you you do.
Yeah. Yeah,
But just a
but
decaffeinated unsweet tea.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's not like a normal thing because sometimes I want the warmth and the tea flavor,
Okay.
but I don't
yeah.
want the caffeine at like 8 p.m. Right? Like, so,
Right.
True.
I
Do
mean,
you
you've
have, like,
seen
a
me on
night-night tea?
broadcast in my cup, right? Like you've
Yeah,
seen me
yeah,
on
yeah,
broadcast.
yeah.
I will literally be drinking. That's decaffeinated tea in there.
That's
Well,
so good.
speaking of tea, let's go ahead and start spilling some tea on our finals coming up. We got our top 4 teams. We
Ooh.
talked about them a little bit last week, but
Yeah.
we didn't get. We've kind of had a little bit more time to simmer out. I want to bring up, and I want to kind of frame this as we have 2 we have two finals, I feel like, that are getting
Mm-hmm.
played in the winner semis and down in the lower bracket as well. We have Purdue Northwest and Ohio Northern facing off in lower, our first and second seed. And then we have our third and fourth seed in GVU and Ottawa Braves facing off in the winner semis. I gotta ask, first and foremost, as we kind of go through it, gentlemen, did y'all see this coming as like your projected thing, or did you see different teams being in different spots?
Final Four, yes.
Yeah.
I actually expected either one of Ottawa, Purdue Northwest, or ONU to be in the bottom. I didn't, like, low key. I knew GVU was gonna make the winners bracket run because they always do. Like
They have that confidence.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in a team like that who's been able to turn it up in the playoffs before. Like, I knew even like them being third seed, it didn't matter. Like, they were gonna make winners finals. Ottawa being there is kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
it's not. You know, we saw the games and
too, right?
yeah, and I don't know if it's like a small collapse of Purdue Northwest. I'm not gonna say they're like bad,
Yeah.
but they kind of got exposed a bit by Ottawa, and I will say that if Purdue Northwest can't carry through topside, and like if like no offense to Win King, if he has to be like the win condition, or he has to kind of like, you know, be the late game insurance, like Levi and Plux just showed you can slam like a lane dominant pick into them, and yeah, it's over. Like the Varus was bonkers for Levi. Like that was such a good game, and I know we talked about it last episode or stuff like that. Yeah, I like if 2023 Kai needs to show up, it needs to be like now in this losers finals, and it would be a damn good time for him.
Yeah. Travi, what do you think? Me and Chibi casted a lot of the games.
Yeah.
We got to talk about it on stream. I'm curious before. I mean, I have my thoughts. I was extremely surprised by the Ottawa 2-0 upset over Purdue.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. What do you think about these squads?
So Ottawa winning is not out of pocket for me. I could see the world in which everything formed there. My big questions that I had, and if we go back to previous MEC pod episodes, my thing was, all right, is Levi going to be like that consistent carry for the team? Because I feel like Ottawa Braves' weakest part inside of the 2024 season is they didn't have a carry. I thought that Killian really was not playing very well if they were not on a Yordle. I felt like Prod was trying to like still grow as a player, and I think that they were kind of finding their footing. Blonde and Riverside can be a bit more of a carry than Blonde can, in my opinion. But I also think they're just both very like consistent role players. I feel like I kind of put them in like the notorious POB category, where it's like you can kind of fit the role that's needed for your team, but you're never going to be like the main star. So I looked down at bot lane, and I was like, Plutz Levi is insane. I think this is Levi's last year as well in Ottawa. So I'm like, there's a lot of things that were just like, this is like the moment for him to show everybody exactly what's up. So I was pleasantly surprised. They were the team that I thought was most likely to fall out of all the top 4 teams, to fall down to the lower bracket and go down, just because I had that concern. But Shibby said it best. I think they kind of exposed. I think they actually had good prep. So I think they actually planned things. I think I've been very critical in their prep recently, and they said, all right, here, watch this game, and they did a great job. I think they were great. I think the series that was the most concerning for me, we talked about it last week, so I'm not going to go in depth. The Heartbreak series that, of course, did happen between both Purdue Northwest and Ohio Northern. I'm not going to touch on the major details in regards to it, but I am very much so concerned about the current state of Ohio Northern. I don't think 2023
the alarms are blaring.
Saves you
DEFCON
at this moment,
5,
because your entire team needs to play better. It's just that simple. Like, the entire team slouched pretty hard. They got out on some good team
Cuz,
play.
especially, I've been big on Cuz. I thought Cuz kind of had a disappointing
the
series.
Julian hype train, I'm off of it. Like I've been off of it. I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't really, like, when I talk about my like junglers because they're very good. I've never really thrown Julian's name around.
You have not.
And simply because I think there are better, more consistent junglers than him. And Prod showed up super big in that Ottawa series, right? Like did really good. Him and Riverside did a really good job neutralizing Doubtful Exo. Castle's been like one of the main reasons why GVU like wins or loses. And I've just obviously been a super big fan of those guys. And I think Julian kind of just was not playing well.
Yeah.
Like it felt like Castle was just kind of 1.5 step ahead of him, and that's all you need in the jungle matchup. Granted, they put Julian on Sejuani duty, which I don't like. I don't know what ONU's plan is there. But yeah, I feel like ONU kind of like, I think you're right, Travysty. I think they slumped.
Yeah, there's that slump, and then I also think Purdue Northwest didn't have a convincing series against BCU, which I think BCU played really well as well. But I do think like there's been a lot of cracks shown in the armor, more so in Ohio Northern. But you know, I had like people have been saying, like I had somebody at the last week of MEC from outside of MEC contact because they were watching the series and they said, "Oh, I knew it. Oh, and you are frauds." And I was just like, they got exposed, I feel like, inside of playoffs even further. And I was somebody who was definitely believing in them. I've seen what they can do when the team play is on, but I don't know if they had like a break, if there was just like a time period where the patch just wasn't in their favor, if the other teams just had a great raid. I don't even see them being the type of people to party, to be honest with you, because they're like,
that's fair.
I think they're the most competitive natured of players in terms of like, maybe not competitive nature, but they take the competition to a serious level to where they actually get upset if somebody is not taking it serious on the other side. Like they want to beat people at their top. Like they don't want a free win. So they're in that like hyper competitive mindset. And I don't think anybody else is like in that same field, at least with Ohio Northern having that scope in there.
Yeah, I think they're very serious, and in a good way.
Yes,
right, in a good way. Like they want to win because, in my head, they want to win because they want to win in a way that like signifies that they are a better team. Like I guarantee you, they weren't happy about that jury win. Like I guarantee you, they were like, really...
"Oh no, Julian in the post game interview."
Yeah,
we were like, "How are you feeling?" He's like, "I feel terrible." That was way too close.
Yeah. That was like, there were moments where we could have lost. Blah, blah,
they
blah,
should have
blah.
lost in a lot of things there. Like, if Drury did not play nervous, that was a done series. That series was out of their hands in game number 3.
So, top 4 interesting. In the matchups, what do we think for like...
Azir's enabled again, so I think we're
game changer?
Ohio Northern's back in the game, baby!
Well, also, PNW, right?
The Azir off.
Yeah, dude, like literally, like Azir is such a contested pick for those two. I have been liking Ottawa and like them putting Riverside on Hui. I think, unironically, Riverside's Hui is probably the best one we have in the league. The amount of times he was stuffing out engages with the fear and like, just his understanding of like when to use the champion, his Hui, like I feel like his Hui just does more fucking damage, dude. Like it's crazy.
But it's also like, Mac, you brought up the matchups. Dude, we have the repeat of what 2022 and 2023 finals in the winners bracket.
Run it back.
We're running that back. and then we have the collision of the first and second seeded team going into playoffs. One team makes it into the next level, the other team eliminated. It's wild to think that they're going to be one of these two teams will not be top 3.
Yeah. 4, I'm nervous for GVU versus Ottawa, because is GVU just gonna run it back again how it was last year, playoff mode,
I
Maybe
just 2-0 him.
Dreyer's
3-0.
we know Dreyer is kind of goated. I'm not gonna lie. GVU's like, there's not a lot of times GVU come unprepared. So the safe assumption for us, and knock on wood, not to hopefully cast or curse them, but Ottawa's got, I mean, like you kind of said, Travy, sometimes the prep from Ottawa's a little sussy, so they got to come just like last time against PNW. They got to come with their A game. And what's interesting, I think, most is, I mean, what's different from last year, this year? Strick Proctor in the top lane, Prod in the jungle, Plux in support. We'll see if those guys can be difference makers in the series, because we know kind of how the rest of it goes. Travie, I know you're excited. What do you got on your mind? I can't help but ask.
You just gave me flashbacks of when I started getting really mad at Ottawa, because remember the series where they banned all the tanks was against Strick Proctor. So I do get that run back, and if I see that again, I will flame on broadcast. I will not. Whoever is my co-caster, I think it will be TDS on the day. Buckle up, partner, because I'm about to be like the Human Torch on the broadcast. I'm just gonna say, flame on. It's gonna be over. I'm going to be livid. I'm going to be flaming. I will be giving my best Killian Gragas impression. Like, I will do whatever I possibly can, dude. Like, I hope not. I think at that series, prep actually prep. And the interesting thing too is I did have confirmation. We do have Riverside. It is playing in the LAN. Blonde can't make it to the LAN itself, so it's Riverside who is guaranteed playing inside of the Final Four. So
nice. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited for these matchups. Obviously, we'll do, I'm assuming, another episode after everything's done this weekend. Yeah, so debrief,
wrap up
after we find out the winner.
Don't say wrap up.
maybe we can get the winner, one of the players from the winning team, on this podcast. Potentially. But I'm down to get into the awards. I know, Travysty, you did a lot of legwork. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys, anybody watching, me and Mac did nothing. Like, literally nothing. Travysty has been, like, one-man armying this. Like, he created, I'm assuming, like he said, graphics or, like, little stuff here and there to make the episode more, like, cooler when we present them. Me and Mac don't know the results. Travie, you're the only one that knows the results of the poll and the forums and everything. I restrained from putting my input into the forum because I felt like I just wanted the players to answer it.
Yeah.
And that it was kind of stuff in there that didn't really apply to me, so I was like more than happy to, like, let me see what the players think, let me see what the staff or whoever wants to vote on it thinks. I think it'll be more interesting. So Travysty, like I said, I appreciate it. I just want to take this time because from the beginning of this one, the MEC pod, like, he's been coordinating the group, he's the one recording, he's the one editing. Like, if you guys didn't know that, so he's been doing a lot of it. Like, yeah, the thumbnails. Like, if you want to break it down into a percentage, it's like 90% Travysty, 5% me and Mac. And the only 5% is, like, me and Mac showing up and, like, talking about things. So that's it. It's literally 90% Travy. So
5% us just showing up on time, trying to not be a roadblock in Travy's effort.
No, because, like, players will DM me like, "Oh man, like, thanks for doing this," like, blah blah. I'm like, dude, no, it's Travis. Like, it's Travis. I'm just
set the record straight.
Yeah,
I appreciate the kind words.
Like, thank Travysty. Thank Travysty, not me.
All right. Well, I appreciate the kind
Love you,
words.
Travy.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I needed that today. I needed that. We actually did, like I said, it was all community poll. So, like, my two co-casters here, I actually didn't put in a vote either. So this is all the community. This is what the community has voted on.
Dak Mooey was definitely not me.
Dak Mooey.
No.
Not Dak Mooey. Incognito, I heard. I'm gonna be real before we start going through the slides and stuff like that I have here to announce some of the awards. I did want to let you guys know some of y'all are spicy inside the awards. I'm not gonna front. Like, there was look, some of the we talked about how heated it is for top 4, how like there's animosity and competitiveness and steel
They
chairs.
hate each other.
619s.
Hate each other.
Bro, there was one thing, and I'm not going to say who did it, and I'm not going to say the player that was named, but somebody was just like, this person, because anytime that their face shows up, they are the funniest looking person. And I'm like, dude, you can't just, like,
Wow.
like there's some animosity, and I hate to say looking forward to it, but rivalries that are like that, where like people are just heated like that. Oh no, it's like reading all that stuff before finals. I'm like, all right, well, if it comes out to the finals, I know what kind of matchup I'm pinning against each other. Anyways, let's go ahead and flip things over.
Ooh.
Transition on over, and we're gonna start off with our first set of awards to come about. Yeah, thank you for the music.
That's my 5%.
Is the we had our, I decided this is a 1 for 2. Scariest team to prep for was almost unanimously GVU. There was a close second place though. Everybody else, there was 1 vote for a couple teams, and then there was like GVU had the most. Guess which team was actually in second behind them at only 1 vote?
Briarcliff.
Exactly, Briarcliff.
Ah,
Yeah,
Briarcliff was 1 vote below GVU.
That's so funny.
That's pretty funny though. But I bet it is, because Briarcliff is like, what the fuck do we do against this team? They just like Gragas Predator Jungle Mike, by the way. Like, Jesus Christ. Not that it was a good showing, but still. Yeah, that makes sense. Scariest team to prep for is GVU, 100%. I mean, they're just willing to bust out Kog'Maw Rakan and Zeri Rakan in any sort of thing. So I'm not surprised. Funniest player staff, yeah, it has to be. It's Marquez. It's always Marquez, right? It's always Marquez. Dude, he's so funny. He's actually so funny.
He's so funny, dude. Also, there was the for funniest player / staff, I wanted to give a heads up. So there were a couple people who were up there inside of the poll, so I want to give them a shout out because I believe it is the right thing to do. First and foremost, my 2 co-casters here, Shibby and Mac, were both up there in the votes.
Really?
Yes. And then
Nice.
Dio.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Dude, his one appearance, yeah, 1,000%. I agree. Yeah, that's how you make a statement. By the way, that's how you like. Dude, it's
His
so
sunglasses.
His Twitch chat, he's just like a big memer. Yeah,
Oh
I mean Marquez is so funny in the general chat of MEC, but also like we share a bunch of servers together. Like he's in the NACL one, he's in like all these. He's Lotus. Dude, he is just the funniest guy. I'm not surprised. Dio is a good one as well. I appreciate me and Mac. Definitely, we try to make it a little funnier for sure. Our casts are a little goofy. I will say that.
I'm just thinking about the clip of the snake. Metal Gear Solid.
That one is.
No, do you remember
iconic.
the one? Do you remember the one where like lightning isn't fast
Oh
enough?
my god.
Now, and Mac just lost it on broadcast.
Yeah,
the Metal Gear Solid one's a good one.
I want to out Marquez's vote real quick, because he just wrote, "Bro, it's me, Marquez," in all caps.
That's why he's the winner, by the way.
I mean, it made me laugh. It made me laugh. Oh, but yeah, that's our scariest team to prep for, GVU, and funniest MEC player / staff. As we can go ahead and go on over to our next one here. Most liked and most hated champion to have on your team. It was Varus, hands down on both.
Wait, most liked champ. Wait, are you saying most liked to have on their team and the one they hate having on their team?
The one that they hate having on the other team.
Nice. Yep.
By a landslide.
Dude, his range this year. I feel like he's this year's Caitlyn from last year, right?
It's
Almost.
Yeah, or like he's just so versatile, right? Like you
Yep.
can build him. the fact that you can build him 2 different ways and still be effective, and the fact that he just is a plug and play, it's never not a good spot for Varus. Almost like it's never not, unless they're running like insane dive or something like that. It's never not a good spot for Varus AD carry.
So
I mean, it's always banned in tier 3 and tier 2 anyways. It's like permaban.
Can I give you a fun fact real quick? Most hated champion to have on the opposite team was a landslide for Varus. There was nobody else who came even close to the amount of Varus votes.
Rel wasn't in there.
Rel was not in there at all.
Azir?
There was a Heimer vote inside of the list.
Do we even have any Heimer?
Not anymore. We used to have Killer Guy, I believe, used to play Heimer. Heimer
Killer Guy was that. Killer Guy was the Heimer.
But there was a vote for Gnar. There was a vote for Jhin. There was a vote for Smolder. There was a singular Yuumi hater. But after that, it's just all Varus votes.
Respect. I feel like if Smolder didn't get like mega nerfed, he'd probably be the winner.
Yeah.
Because that champion is absolutely frustrating to play.
He also
against.
didn't come in until halfway through the season.
That's true. Varus has been in there since day one.
Yeah.
I understand it. I understand why it's
a day oneer.
Yeah.
I understand.
So another thing is, this is why I wanted to bring up that fact. For favorite champion to have your team, Varus won by 1 vote.
Was Karma below?
Karma didn't get a single vote.
Thank God.
Karma did not have a single vote.
That's tough.
There was votes for Briar, of all things. There was a Briar vote. There was a Nasus vote.
That's the weirdo.
There's a Nasus vote.
Whoever that is.
There is a Vygar vote. Some AD carry put Yuumi in the vote. There was a Jinx vote. And then second up was Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao was runner up to Varus for most light champion, which I get because like if you have a Jin Zhao on your team, right? They know what to do, right? It's kind of brain dead. You just kind of continuously repeat gank over and over again.
Yeah. Right.
I did get to make a slide for this one, but this was a question on it.
Okay.
Strongest role in the MEC. What do you think MEC voted for, y'all?
Jungle. Every other role does not like jungle. I know that for a fact. They voted jungle. Am I wrong? Please
77% of people voted jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because everybody thinks jungle's OP because it's like, oh, they just come into my lane and hit me and beat me up. It's like, no, dude. We don't have a consistent source of income. Fuck you guys. Like, you guys have minions. You guys have all this stuff.
Stop taking my stimmy.
Bro, like, I hate that. If you get invaded and you get put down in jungle, you're done. You're done. You're like that horse with the broken leg. You fucking can't do anything.
Oh, I can put weight on it.
No, dude, you're dead. Like, if a mid laner dies, like, okay, cool. He can play safe. He can farm up minions. Like, there's stuff to do. Your game's not over. Bro, sometimes your game's just over in the jungle. Like, it can just, like, never... Yeah, I'm not surprised that people think jungle's the most OP role, but...
You know what surprised me?
Like, fuck that.
Guess what roles did not get a vote?
Bot.
Top?
Top did not get a vote, and...
That makes sense.
Mid lane didn't get a vote.
Wow.
Nobody voted top or mid. The other 11%, the other 22% was 11% AD carry and 11% support.
Wow.
Yeah. That kind of surprised me. I was expecting at least one mid vote.
I was expecting more of a support split. I know a lot of people hate support, like, because it's like you can do so much for free, right? Like, your role is strong. I mean, we've seen supports like just solo out other champions before. I think mid's the most OP role, but that's whatever. I'm not surprised jungle is the most hated, or like thinks people.
Oh, this one's gonna be a good one for you all, though. The next one is, who is most likely to int for Scuttle?
Are the slides changing, by the way?
It's about
We're
to
still
change.
stuck on
It's about to change.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna ask you guys, who do you guys think got this?
Most
Likely
Julian.
to int for Scuttle.
int for Scuttle, Prod.
Mac?
I was thinking Julian.
Julian? Okay.
Yeah.
It's Prod, baby.
yeah, I knew it. It's Prod. Yeah, that makes sense. That's just Prod though. Like that is just Prod though.
Oh gosh, I love your emote there.
Dude, Prod will int for like the tiny chicken if he has to. If he can deny it, he fucking will try. I know that. Like that's just how he plays.
Dude, it was at first I thought it was close, right? In this vote. But then I found out that people just kept spelling Prod different ways inside the vote. It wasn't close at all.
You're like, wait a minute, his first pass, oh, it's pretty like, you know, run the pie graph. Wait, what the Prad?
There was no like, so here's the thing. It differentiates it based off of if you use all caps, some caps, no caps. So it was just like there was like one of his teammates, and I'm not gonna say which teammate, but it was one of his teammates said, Prod, he ints for everything. like I was just like, all right, come on, guys.
Oh gosh.
But like, there was like an all caps Prod. There was like Prod with just the P capitalized. There was all lowercase. Second place was doubtful. And and after that it wasn't even close, but it was not close for any. Prod was far and beyond. Most likely to end for Scuttle.
Golf clap.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't have it any other way though with Prod. I love the way he plays jungle, and I like I said, we talked about I think like a long time ago on this podcast. Or like Prod, the plays he makes, if he fails, he looks like an idiot. But when it works, he is like insane.
Yeah.
Right? Like some of the Lee Sin kicks. Like I understand the vision, and I'd rather have a player go for that, and then you know, not try to go for those opportunities in my opinion. So I respect Prod. It's just working the int out, right? You got to work the int out slowly but surely.
I also don't have a slide for this one question because it was divided amongst many people, and I wanted to just kind of showcase it. There's no way for me to really... there was no winner in this because it was a tie between multiple individuals.
Wow.
I say it was tied between multiple individuals. There was one person who had one vote higher than everybody else, but because it was so close with everybody voting, like literally it was just one extra vote on one person, and everybody else was in second. So Julian was best interviews. Gave best interviews was King Julian.
Nice.
Which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Very proper, and also gives some very memorable moments in interviews. The other winners were like Levi was in there, Pluto was in there, Raymond was in there, Wing King was in there. Yeah, Raymond.
Raymond deserves being up there. Raymond would have been my vote. He was just so funny. I remember in the lab, he was like, "Get in here, I can bring in this guy, right? Come on, Jesus." You know, Raymond was great. I appreciate.
I feel like Mike. I liked Mike a lot as an interviewee. He was the one that left a lasting impression on me for sure. I think we were really. It's obviously tangent a little bit, but still relevant. I think we were really blessed this year with a lot of good interviewee or like people that are getting interviewed.
Yeah.
Not to say that 2023 was bad by any means, but like. We definitely had a lot more personalities and like people willing to talk and like understanding the thought process, but also like putting thought into their answers. Right, I think that was a big upgrade. Whereas like last year, it was a lot more serious. And I always appreciate GVU giving the one Jin Call interview a year, and I love how he just fucking hates it every time.
He's just like, please, guys, I don't want to. And they're like, don't get pentas then.
Yeah, it's true. Like, don't be the best performing player on your team, and you won't get interviewed. Unfortunate. But yeah, I think this year was way better for interviews. I had way more fun, like asking questions, hearing the people. Like, I don't know. This year, I wanted to stay for the interviews for sure. Like after the game.
Yeah.
It reminded me of 2022 interviews, because 2022 interviews were really good too. I will say, like I know you two. I don't think you two were here yet, right? That you guys come in 2022.
Yep. No, you're correct. Yep,
Yeah.
we weren't
You
there.
had Colthrow, right? 2022
Yeah,
and Aaron.
we had Colthrow.
Yeah.
We had the
That's so
the Squirtle thing where somebody threw a
Yep,
Squirtle
yep,
at
yep.
Aaron, and that evolved into this whole thing. Like there was a lot of memorable interviews actually from 2022. So I get that. It gives me a lot of shades of like a lot of people kind of coming out of their shell and like having more of that personality on stream.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and go to our next one, which is who is most likely to miss canon? This one surprised me. Because it's prank.
Dude, some of the top lane tanks, don't get it twisted. Like, your autos don't do that much damage sometimes.
I thought it was going to be a support flaming their AD carry in this. I was picturing an AD carry was going to get put here. But no, it's just prank.
Yeah, you know why Prank's missing cannon? Because he's trying to go for the solo kill, and he's fucking sprinting it. That's what he's doing. That's why Prank's missing. Prank's not missing cannon because he tried to hit the cannon. He's missing cannon because he's like, fuck this gold and this wave. I'm going to kill you now. That's what he's trying to do, low-key.
Unfortunately, he's playing like Karma and Tank Duty, and he's just like, why isn't this working? Back when I played Gwen, this used to work.
Back in the day.
Oh man. So I'm gonna. It's gonna look little weird. I just noticed that my slides are a little out of order. So, next up is the community voted all team. So we're gonna go back through some of these other slides real quick. This is the all-star team voted by the MEC players.
Nice.
Aggression, Doubtful, Jinqual, Nightstar, and Plutz. This is a much different list than what we actually had from the official one, because I think it was mostly Purdue Northwest that actually came away with the awards from Unified's end, which I believe their vote had like the directors had a vote, and then it was different staff members, and us of course got a vote. This one was
I think we talked about this though, right? Like remember we like hotly debated the mid jungle? Like what would you rather have? Doubtful Jinkall or like Klexo and
Klexo Castle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was like Doubtful Jinkall, it sounds like much scarier. No offense to the other two guys, but I think this actually much more aligns with, at least from the caster's perspective. Not sure what MEC voted. But I think we like all agreed Aggression was like the best top laner, or at least most consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doubtful is really good. Jinkall. I think bot lane is where we differed a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although Plux, I think the thing is as well, is I bet you like a lot of these guys, I don't know if they only got counted for the regular season, but because the playoffs happened and then the voting went out, I'm not surprised to see Plux on this list. I've always been a big fan of Plex. I've always talked about how like he's the best roaming support in the MEC at the moment. I think this is like a much more at least accurate list to what we thought, right? Any differentiations for you guys?
I like this list a lot. I wanted to read off the original like all team from the unified vote was Prank, Castle, Klexo, Wind King, and Pluto.
Totally different, right?
Yeah, there's like not a single player from the all MEC first team from Unified matches this. Every single player is swapped.
It makes sense too from a player perspective. Like if you think about like, you know, playing against Aggression, he's probably like really annoying to play against because you can't get like a sizable lead on him, right? You know he'll always be relevant. Doubtful, obviously he makes the name for himself. Jinkall has by far looked like one of the best mids, at least on GV. Like he looks like the best player on GVU.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely see the player perspective from this for sure.
The spicy thing as well is this vote is legitimately the entire unified second team, except for Cuz, who was voted in support inside the second team, and Plutz was on the third team.
Yeah. I honestly have been sleeping on Plux, so I'm curious how Ottawa will do in winners finals. To be fair, I don't think we casted a lot of Ottawa games, Shibi, I want to say. I feel like Ottawa were
like
some
one or
weekend
two.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to see them more in the playoffs for sure. And then obviously, I won't. Neither me or you will get to cast them in winners. Travi, it'll be you, right? And,
I think so. I'm not entirely sure of the schedule, but I think that will be the case.
But shout out Plux for. I hope Ottawa, gives us a more interesting set of finals than last year. So I feel like they kind of.
So the interesting thing that
got smacked.
The interesting thing that does come up here, there was a tie for second. By the way, so Aggression won by 1 vote. Prank was underneath.
Yeah.
And Killian was underneath.
Oh, good for him. They do like. It's always so tough because Rumble's always banned.
Yes.
But you do have to perma-ban it against him for a good reason.
So, yeah, it was very much so. It was good. I was happy that Aggression got their votes, but no, it legitimately came down to like 1 vote, and it just went over to the favor of Aggression. And then after that, it was literally just Killian. And then there was 1 vote that actually could have made Prank tie for first. But I ended up disqualifying it because they gave me 2 answers. Because they said Killian on Yordles, otherwise Prank.
What the hell?
I was like, I can't count that.
Yeah, that's funny. Killian on Yordles and or Prank. I think that's fair.
Doubtful won by a landslide.
That makes sense. He has looked like one of the best junglers. No, sorry, not one of the best jungler in our league.
Jinqual won, but right behind him, 1 vote off for both of those was Blonde and Kletzo.
Wow, Blonde.
Yeah, Blonde got some votes inside the mid lane.
Blonde didn't even play after week 4 or something, right? Like week 3.
People were down. Nightstar won by a landslide, and then it was Levi and then Wing King. And then for support, it was almost all Plutz. It was so many different variations of Plutz yet again. Somebody even attached a link to go to somebody's Twitter status to have a meme. Yeah, it was literally just a meme that was from one of their Twitters, or they put it in there. It was very funny.
That's so good.
With Fat Cat and Pluto. Pluto was second, and then Fat Cat was third.
Oh.
A pretty good list.
I think that's a solid list. I think I'm down for Fat Cat because I like he's experimental, right? Like he tries to place. Like I mad respect for him busting out the NASA support.
Yeah, right.
I wish it worked, but it just couldn't, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, I like this first team. I like this is a fucking scary team to play against.
Yeah.
Like I don't think any combination of the remaining players, like I could say 50-50 is this team right here. And like that's what I think.
Okay.
You think so?
Are you sure?
Build a team that you are confident 50-50.
Prank Castle, right?
Okay. Okay.
Mid lane, we'll go
Where you
Mid
gonna
lane's
go?
interesting.
Tell
I'm
me.
gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to mid lane.
Okay.
Bot lane, Levi, Pluto,
Sure,
and
but history has shown that Nightstar's gotten the better of Levi. Like, who's your superstar for that team? Levi, right? So it's just Ottawa. So it's just Ottawa again. It's just you just built Ottawa Brave.
okay, mid.
just built the
What
Ottawa
if you go
Braves.
something fun like Cammer or Orion?
I mean, I do like
Something
the Cammer.
crazy.
I like Cammer just because Cammer is like, I think Cammer is really good to have on a team where you have like a good presence on your side lanes, either bot lane or top lane. I think Cammer would fit in really well into a team like that.
Jin Call has skull fucked every mid laner. I'm sorry, man. It's like that's the big diff. Like the gaps, I could argue, yeah, pranked aggression, you're getting a different flavor. Castle Doubtful, you're getting a different flavor. But like, Jin Call can do it all, man. Like his fucking like he can just play everything. Which is so annoying. Like you could argue maybe Riverside has a solid matchup if Riverside gets like his champions, like maybe the Azir, the Hui, that kind of stuff. But then like I said, you just built Ottawa Braves 2.0 because like Levi is just star carry. The fact that you have Nightstar and Jin Call on this team, and you have aggression that complements both of those players, right? Like arguably the best space making tank player in MEC at the moment. Like, yeah, it's this team is so difficult. But I like this MEC first team All Pro. I don't think you guys have any complaints about it, right?
No, I like it. I think this is a good team. I like the unified version as well, but I like this one too. I think this team's just terrifying. And I'm glad that we got a little bit of all of our top 4 teams inside of this too. It's just a blend of our top 4. So you know what? I like it a lot. Something else I like a lot is the MEC Pod Community MVP.
Ooh. This is cool. I want to know who this is.
Drum roll.
Nice.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
So as of recording this, we don't know the MVP of
the season. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. I know.
We do not know the unified vote. Yes.
Yeah, we don't know the unified vote at all. But I will say I have a very sneaking suspicion that this is one of the times where the unified vote and like the community vote will align.
Yeah.
This
is pretty good. I enjoyed this. There was a lot of votes actually on MVP as well that were differing. I kind of want to shout them out just because of the fact that like there were so many different votes for different people, and I thought it was kind of cool to see so many people kind of get highlighted in the community that they really thought that they realistically were an MVP. So Doubtful had votes.
Nice.
Kaido had votes. Kai99, which was the one that threw me off. I was just like, I don't think he had an MVP split, but I was just like, you know what? I appreciate that somebody was like, they were like, you know what? I go to bots for Kai. Nightstar, Plutz, Riversided, which that was another one that I thought was wild because it's like Riverside hasn't played except the very end of the split, but people were anticipating him. And then Strict Proctor actually got an MVP vote as well, which I thought was really cool because I do think a lot of people do tend to like kind of be like, shit, Proctor's not going to carry or anything like that. But he is the tank that allows the rest of the team to kind of form and play whatever they want. So I do like that. So a little bit of shout outs to them as well. It's people in the community like you guys.
Was that our last? We didn't have anything else?
That's it? That's all, folks?
There is one last thing, but there is no graphic for it because I wanted to kind of go through it. I put out a question that got answers, and I want to end us on a positive note.
Nice.
Favorite memory or moment from the season?
Can I just do like
go through?
I'm gonna
go through all the answers.
I'm gonna go through the answers.
I would like that.
One shining moment, reach for the stars. One shining moment. Can we have one of those? You know, the NCAA tourney does it at the end. Can we do like a compilation of these?
Shut
these
up! What the... Oh man!
All right.
Come on, this is the bit. It's the song. Come on, you had that in the script, right, Travy? You got my version.
The acapella, the macapella version, bro.
Mac, I might need you to send me the MP3 for that later.
Yeah.
I need the music
And it's
video.
it's that soundtrack. It's our version. You get like the music. You like layer it on my voice, and it's just that for the compilation video.
Oh, so you know what? Our shining moment is what we're going to call this now. I figure we'll go through the community, and then I feel like we could all kind of give our own to kind of reflect upon. So, and you guys, of course, will be able to choose if you think that these are, you know, your pick. This one's a funny one for me. GVU Stomps. It's just the GVU Stomps. I'm pretty sure that was a GVU player that did that, where they're just like, every time they stop, they're like, that's our favorite.
All the 2-0s are my favorite memory. Fucking Chad. Fucking whoever that Chad is. I don't know who it is.
Very Chad-like answer there. I know who it is, but
yeah, no, keep it a mystery. Keep it a mystery.
Another one is actually the flame on moment that we had at the very end of the season. It's a two-parter. Julian's flame interview where he flamed Pluto, apparently.
Oh,
that was a favorite moment.
What did he say? He's like has no friends or something. That's a crazy comment.
That was somebody's
crazy.
Jimmy was like, "How do you feel about playing the other team?"
I stoked it a bit, but I wasn't expecting him to say that.
Nobody was expecting Julian to go in as hard as possible there, but people like trash talk. It's just a proven fact.
That's true.
We've got Yapton America representing us over in MSI with APA, right? Going on over. So people love trash talk. That's good.
Yappa.
Yappa. Multiple votes for a very specific interview, the Dio interview.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a very good one.
Love it.
Like I said, his one and only appearance on camera, and everybody knows his name. So I respect that.
There was, of course, like I said, Dio interview. There's Dio interview. This one, 619 at LAN manifesting.
619 at LAN manifesting. Do not fucking 619 anyone at LAN. I cannot believe I have to say this again. Do not 619 someone at LAN.
Shibby, don't downplay the favorite moment for our community, okay? Our community is speaking for what their favorite moment is. Okay?
The chairs aren't real. The tables are breakable. They're professionals, guys. I'm gonna shatter your reality right now. The WWE is staged, guys.
Whoa!
They have prop glass. It's called sugar. It's called sugar glass.
No, I'm pretty sure it's real. It's just like Santa. What are you talking about?
The blood is not even real. The blood's not even real most of the time.
Sometimes
they blade. They do a little blading, you know.
Yeah. It just depends.
It depends on where you're
from. Don't fucking 619 somebody at LAN, whoever you are.
Favorite moment from MEC was that though. MEC Clash was somebody's, which I thought was very good to see. So I'm glad to see that people were enjoying the LAN. Before
I know Mac enjoyed that one.
Yep. This one, you can already guess what this one is. It's in the answer. The MEC Spring Clash Finals interview with Castle.
I wonder who voted that.
Yeah, I wonder who did that. Who interviewed with Castle?
I'm on the case.
But I thought that was really wholesome too, because that was a really like nice interview. And it's kind of cool seeing both the winner and the loser in that scenario, and they're like, "Now we're friends after this, right?"
Mhm.
And I don't know if you guys have seen on Discord, but like Marquez's name is like Stole Castle's wife or something like that.
Marquez owes people money. That's all I know. He owes a lot, and he won't get a job. And he's like apparently not 6 feet.
He's not 6
Marquez
feet.
is
Wait, what?
5'4", measured at land.
Dude, that's crazy. And then the last one that we had, Levi's Pentakill versus PNW.
Love that.
Oh, yeah. He's
That's-
recorded like 5 pentakills or 4, something crazy. The one where he's on that like bot side near the Raptors and he's just firing away.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one,
that was
man.
a good one.
Levi has more pentakills than anybody else in the MEC, and he's gotten them all in playoffs.
No, he got Smolder ones. Do we count Smolder ones?
The
though?
Smolder, the Smolder ones were in playoffs. First round of playoffs.
He had one during the regular season, though, didn't he?
Did he?
Mhm. He had one. He had one when Smolder was mega OP. He had one when Smolder or 2. No, he had back to back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Two.
I'm pretty sure that was playoffs, wasn't it? Wasn't it first week of playoffs? Or was it the week
That was
before?
regular season.
Okay.
That was regular.
No,
Well,
the
it's regular
back
season.
to back. Don't get it twisted. The back to back, I think, was in playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think he had one during the regular season.
Somebody fact check me. Until then, I'm gonna
No.
believe that he got them all in
Levi?
playoffs because that's pretty interesting.
Yep. Levi would know. I'm
Thank you,
surprised.
Travy, you're wrong. Get out.
I'm surprised none of Mike's Barons deals are on there. Oh, like those were fucking bonkers, dude. He has as much Baron steals as Levi has pentakills, and that's a lot, man. Like, there's dude, like 5 Baron steals, one on Nocturne with no flash. He just ults in like a fucking Chad and just steals.
On
it.
the Gragas, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Mike is, yeah, that shit.
Mike is
That's
goated.
that. Some of mine. Mike's good.
Good,
Favorite memory. Player wise, there was one where Prod. It was like a game. I think it was between Purdue Northwest and Ottawa, or it was like GVU in Ottawa, or like one of those games. Prod's on Volibear, and on like they could go take like Dragon or something, and instead Prod just like full queues into like an Azir plus something else, and I'm like, Prod, he just fucking dies. That's like one of my favorite memories, because that just like epitomizes Prod as a player to me. Also, any of his Lee Sin kicks, like literally any of them, were like insane. There was one over Raptor Pit, I think he did, where he like W's over, gets the kick onto like the 80 carry and kills him. Levi Pentas were super cool, but yeah, those are like some of my favorite memories, I think, between obviously the pod stuff too. I don't know if we can count the stuff we do here, but like it's always fun.
I think it's fine to count the stuff we do here if it's because it's involving the MEC, right?
Yeah, I like cop out answer, but like yeah, these are like some of my favorite stuff to do. So it's nice. I have something to look forward to do on Tuesday, which that's not work.
So true. One of mine, I think it was the start of Shibby and I's season 2. I think it was GVU versus CSU, and Strick Proctor running into the jungle on Udyr top, getting like a solo kill.
My god! Yeah, we were just flabbergasted.
We were like, who's
Yeah,
this
yeah,
new
yeah.
top laner for GVU? What's
Such
he
a
gonna bring to
Chad.
this season? And he's
Fucking sprints over. Dude, Mac was so flabbergasted. I remember he's like, he's just gonna kill him in his jungle. What? I was like, oh shit.
he was level 2 or level 3. He was just trying to get his blue buff, and Proctor's like, no, welcome to the MAC.
Yeah, welcome to the Thunderdome. I do remember that was crazy. Yeah, and then that's what prompted me to start looking at why junglers start away from the Udyr lane. And I realized that shit happens. It happened in like a pro game or some
Yep.
shit too. And I was like, there we go. So shout out Proctor.
Shout out to Proctor. Unsung hero.
Travysty, yours?
I I'm gonna go with, of course, like the MEC pod stuff's always very fun. Making the graphics is very fun because usually I try to cook up like something crazy to happen inside the series and make the thumbnail based around that. But for me, I actually am going to put Twitch chat. I actually really enjoyed some of the chatters that were inside of it. I think Twitch chat was really good. I think the Twitch chat was just absolutely great, from the Twilight story readings that were coming out from Music Let's See to like the copy pasta. The demand for a King Julian copy pasta was hilarious to watch happen live on like hearing the producer in the back just being like, dude, they're going wild for Julian, what's going on? Like everybody's going wild.
Yeah,
we had so many like family members coming in, a lot of teachers actually inside the chat too. Drury had a lot of support. The all we do is win stuff in chat. I mean, there was a lot of
who
good
was
support.
it that had the copy pasta? It was, I feel like it was Levi they were doing it for. They were like, yeah, I'm huge with Levi, and in parentheses it was like, I can call him that because we're tight or something.
Yeah, it's his fucking name.
I loved it. I love it. I thought Twitch chat was actually really good. It had its moments, of course, where like you guys need to get bonked every now and then, but I love it. I love some of my favorite things are actually going back in and just like in breaks, I would just read Twitch chat just to see what was being said. And then some of y'all were like, any Ohio Northern game. There was somebody who made an account that was like, I love King Julian. And I was just like, you guys, this is becoming an obsession, please.
Yeah.
It was good though. Yeah, our community is great. I love that we got to do this and kind of let the community have a voice on what they enjoyed and what they thought was the best in all positions. And that was the main purpose of me wanting to do this, was like, I found out that, of course, like the other awards didn't really have the player's voice in it. You only get one vote per team from like their director, I think. So I really wanted the players to be able to kind of voice out a lot of what they thought was good, what their favorite memories are, as we kind of bring the season to a close.
One more weekend.
One more weekend.
Last weekend.
We will have one more wrap up episode kind of thing to talk about the teams and the players.
I'm not ready for it,
that.
but I am ready for some good games, and I will say that.
Yeah.
So, I'm not ready for the wrap up, but I am ready to get into more.
4 series of League of Legends?
3 series will be on Saturday. So I will be on the first series of the day with TDS, and then I believe it's going to be Mecha and TDS, and then Mecha and RMC will be coming in for the final game of the series on Saturday. And
RMC!
Sunday,
let's go!
Sunday will be me and Shippy. We'll be taking over on Sunday for Grants.
That's a rare pairing.
Like, we don't get to do this often. That's a rare
pairing.
That's so chaotic.
Yeah. That is gonna be fun.
I just think back to our Smash cast, and you and me and Shibby just had the same lingo, so we're just like, we're just back and forth with each other. We're so high energy too, so it's gonna be chaos incarnate.
It's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun because Travy's gonna be on play-by-play and I'm gonna be on color, but the thing is both of us get super hyped, and also Travy's a flex caster, so he can also it's gonna be fun for sure. I wonder I don't know if they have this or not. Is there a confirmed analyst desk for Sunday?
They didn't.
We had it last year.
So I don't think there is going to be one. That might change. Unified will probably put out a thing about it. I know the original plan. I guess I can kind of say that now while we're at it to close things out. But original plan was I was going to host the analyst desk. So we were gonna do. I was gonna host the desk.
I fucked it. It's my fault.
It wasn't.
It's kind of my fault.
I'm not available either. I'm not available Saturday.
Yeah. So it was going to be. I was gonna host the desk, and I think the game plan was we were going to try and bring in some of the players who didn't get to make it into top 4, and that was going to be our desk going into it. But I'm not going to be able to host because I'll be casting. and they just they did look into another host, but they just decided it would be better just to kind of go with things as they are. So that's why I don't think there is one. If they do one, I don't know about it. So that'll be exciting to see if they do. But
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
That would suck. That would suck. I've always liked the analyst desk.
hey, that's why we're here. MEC Pod, we analyze things. Bow, 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 bow. So we'll go ahead and send things off. And you know what? Thanks everybody for tuning on in. Thank you to everybody who voted as well inside of the polls. Shout out to you. You're the hero that made this happen. And shout out to my co-casters for coming in here and showing up and being all hype and glazing me up halfway through the episode. So appreciate y'all. Take care and have a good night, everyone.
Bye.